In the anime and comic book community, the thought that many heroes don't kill is very common because there are three popular examples of heroes who do not kill. Those being Batman, Superman, and Spiderman. Now, due to these characters, many people believe that every hero doesn't kill, so that leads me to make this video to find out if this is just a fallacy or not. So, strap in, because I'm about to get real in depth with this video. Before I do jump into the video, if you guys do enjoy content like this, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe, as I do post content like this regularly, and to be honest, it's a win-win. You guys show me love and support, and they give back to you in the form of videos. Whether it's anime, comics, or just fiction in general, in due time I plan on covering it, so be there when I go there. But I feel like I've rambled on long enough. So I'll jump straight into the video and find out if the no kill rule is just a massive fallacy. Now, the first thing I do want to cover are the ideals of Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man and why they do not kill. Now, each of them do have a different reason as to why they don't kill. Now, at a certain point, all of their ideals do come up to a meeting point, and that is why they don't kill. The reason Superman doesn't kill is because he is the symbol of hope and justice, which means that if he were to go down the route of killing, then he would be a villain himself, as he's only following in their footsteps. That's why he doesn't kill, and he does believe that people do have a shot at redemption, and it's not really his place to just strip away somebody's life. For Batman, it's more about the fear that's been installed in him, and him knowing that if he does it once, he'll then do it twice, and then 3 times, until the number just loses count, and he's done it too many times in a pursuit to try clear up Gotham. And for Spider-Man, it's mainly due to him believing that he cannot be the judge, jury, and executioner, and that people can eventually change. And that is why he does clash with people like Punisher, and somebody like Punisher is also going to be key for a video like this. Now, while yes, some of them do sound like the exact same thing in different fonts, obviously they got to it in different ways. Spider-Man just through his nurturing as he was growing up, and just him knowing what values and morals are. Exact same thing with Superman. And Batman does come from more of a fear aspect, and him growing up the way he did, but we can all see that it's through their childhoods and obviously through their adult lives, and how they then build themselves on why they will not kill anybody. Now, even though these guys are the biggest preachers about not killing anybody, they have been pushed close to that point and have nearly done it. And on other occasions, they may have been forced to do it due to the plot. Now, most of the time it does get overridden, but we do see full-on stories where they do go down the dark path. Now, the reason you can make entire stories out of these 3 killing is because it's an essential part to their character. It's something that the story will always focus on, and it's one of their key character traits, and that is why I brought these 3 up specifically. So, who are the characters who are bunched up with them that many people believe are also on their wavelength when it comes down to not killing people? Now, in my eyes, the 3 characters that are grouped in the most with these 3 are Deku, Captain America, and Luffy. Now, why these 3 are grouped in are pretty simple. These 3 are either righteous characters or characters that have preached something similar to what Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man have, but in reality wouldn't react the exact same way if they ended up actually finishing the job. And I'm gonna explain why these 3 should not be lumped in with the other 3, because even though their morals and stuff may be the same, when it comes down to it, they are fundamentally different people. Now, out of the 3 of them, the one that I want to focus on first is Deku. Now, the reason I want to focus on Deku first is because I feel like a lot of people see that Deku is a hero and see that he is a timid person who has a very kind soul, and believe that he doesn't have any sort of hatred in his heart to even go as far as killing somebody. It doesn't take a genius to know that you don't need a lot of hatred in your heart to kill somebody. You can actually just do it out of pure good intent, as well, you're trying to save the day and maybe they're not stopping, so you have to go that far. Now, this is where Deku comes in, because Deku said that he wouldn't kill Shigaraki because he felt like he needed saving. Now this statement is taken out of context by a lot of people, as a lot of people do think that if you need some sort of saving, then Deku will try his hardest, and he actually will. But there's a difference between somebody who needs saving and looks like they need saving and you can tell is being manipulated, to somebody who is just doing it throughout their own free will. And this is where Deku comes in. Now, I'm not here to say that Deku goes around killing people. No, he's not the Moon Knight or even Punisher archetype of character, not even close. But he isn't somebody to just sit there and allow you to do heinous things over and over again and you have zero sympathy, or you cannot tell that you're being manipulated. I just want to say that if Deku didn't get that vision at the end of the first war, he probably would have went in for the kill on Shigaraki and wouldn't have stopped. But because he did, and he saw young Tenko, that is why he stopped. And that is why he said he believes that Tenko or Shigaraki needs saving. And once again, it's not to say that he goes around and kills everybody, but if it comes down to it, he will. He isn't somebody that's going to shy away from it, as he is a hero and he understands the risks of being a hero. Although you can say that he is a lot more kinder than a lot of heroes, when you push him to that breaking point, he will do it. And although he's somebody that would prefer not to do that, he isn't somebody that's going to shy away from it. As I just said, he knows what it means by being a hero. Now, on the topic of knowing what it means to be a hero, we have Captain America. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that Cap is a little bit more questionable in this discussion, as he is a literal war general, war hero at that. And yeah, that's actually one of my main points for this. The reason some people believe that Cap wouldn't kill is because of his righteousness and him being a freedom fighter and whatnot, but at the exact same time, he is literally a war hero. Captain America has been on the battlefield and he has wielded guns before, and he knows what comes with it. He knows what he has to do, and I feel like people trying to employ that on him is a little bit weird. But to be honest, I've only seen it as of late, as I've seen a lot of people like to say that Captain America wouldn't kill this, that and the third because he's a righteous person and he's somebody that would always do good. But at the exact same time, Steve is a war hero. He went out there to go fight in the World War, and even though he doesn't like the thought of killing, if it needs to be done, he will 100% do it. Now, the last person I'm going to actually include in this video is going to be Luffy. Now, the reason people believe that Luffy wouldn't kill is because of a statement Oda made a little while ago. Now, this statement had actually been twisted, and I'm not even going to sit here and lie. Even I, for a moment, thought that the quote says something else until I then reread it and realized that no, actually what Luffy is doing to the pirates can technically be classed as worse. Now, as you can see, it's basically saying that Luffy would rather destroy somebody's dreams and let them live on with their dreams being destroyed than actually kill them. This doesn't mean that Luffy has a problem with it, as if you're a heinous person, then you deserve it. But if he doesn't do it, then he's already crushed your dreams, and so it's either you start again or that's it for you. And I think that this is perfect, because there's this thing going around about Luffy that he's some righteous person, and there's a quote of him saying that you should never laugh at somebody after they die, but the context of that is very different. Like, say for instance, if Doflamingo died. If people laughed at Doflamingo dying, I don't think that Luffy would get mad. He'd probably understand it and be like, okay, I mean, he had it coming towards him. He may say something, but it won't be to the degree that he is saying it in this panel. Luffy is somebody that knows when somebody is a bad person. He knows what it means, and I feel like a lot of people just think that he isn't aware of that. And to me, it's quite insane. I mean, we literally saw Luffy dancing and laughing after he just killed Kaido. Now, although many people want to say that Kaido may have lived, I mean, Kaido, to the story and to Luffy most importantly, is dead. So Luffy seems to not care. Kaido kept an entire country enslaved, so he got what he deserved. Now, even though I've covered those three characters, I do believe that there is more to this. Now, what I said about Luffy, Deku and Cap, with them portraying a certain way but them being able to go further than somebody like Superman, Batman or Spider-Man is something that's key. And what separates them from them is the fact that what makes them evil is completely different to what would make Superman, Batman or Spider-Man evil. For instance, just Superman, Batman or Spider-Man killing would then turn them evil as they've gone on their moral code. But Deku, Cap or Luffy doing it is more accepted, as these three characters have had the opportunity or have done it already in their story, and it hasn't affected them as characters, as their characters, in my eyes at least, are just more than that. Now, it's not to say that Superman, Batman and Spider-Man aren't more than their no killing rules, no, and I think that's something that a lot of people do need to remember about these characters. A lot of them do have key and iconic things that they don't do. For instance, Batman will never ever shoot a gun, as that is a thing that killed his parents. That's why he'll use every other gadget on planet Earth and even other planets and just things that he'll make up himself, but he will never ever resort to a gun. That is why when you then see an alternate version of himself, Thomas Wayne, and he's using guns, you are taken by surprise instantly. You see, when you then cross-reference these characters and their variants and whatnot throughout the entire multiverse, as a lot of these stories do travel throughout them, you get to see what really makes them as characters and what separates them from being a hero to the characters like Superman, Batman or Spider-Man. For instance, the Injustice timeline is made off of Superman spiraling. Him killing the Joker and then spiraling wouldn't be the same as Luffy killing Kaido. Both deserved it, but what makes Superman and Luffy different is the fact that even though you can say that both of them do stand for liberation, Luffy fundamentally as a character is different. He's a pirate. He's meant to play by those rules, so he can do it and get away with it, while Clark can't. It's that same thing with Deku and Peter. Peter is somebody who is made up of those morals that his uncle and he himself instilled with himself. Deku, yes, he's been instilled with many ideals from his friends, from All Might, from his mother. Deku as a person knows what he needs to do to be a hero, and from a very young age knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to save people, but at the exact same time it does come at a cost, and he knows that. And that's the exact same thing with Cap and Batman. Captain America's alternate version of him being evil is him bowing down to the organization he has always sworn to take down ever since World War II, and that's Hydra. While Batman, you can say that the worst version of him, or just the version that is opposite of him, will be Thomas Wayne's version, where he's wielding guns and is willing to kill people on the spot if need be. What I believe the no kill rule comes down to is how it will affect them as a character. I've explained why Superman, Batman and Spider-Man don't kill, and that is why I truly do believe that their no kill rule makes them a better character. But if you were to slap it on Deku, Cap and Luffy, in my opinion, it wouldn't make them better characters. Deku has an argument, but Cap, especially Cap, and Luffy especially, it makes zero sense. Now, one thing I will say is people are very scared to slap the kill rule on a lot of heroes because we've seen the extreme side of it. Injustice is one, but just pushing that to the side, characters like Punisher or Red Hood are characters that people see and be like, we don't want our precious and righteous heroes to be doing. But we all know that at the end of the day, if there was push to it, they'd go ahead and do it. And so that's why I'm here to state that if your favorite hero hasn't been stated to have a no kill rule, then they can probably kill. Now, don't think it's going to be in the exact same light as Punisher or Red Hood, because they're filled with an undying vengeance that forces them to go out there and take the lives of others because they believe that they are no longer fit to walk the streets. That's not the same for many others. Other heroes do it because they know it's a necessity, and even though they would like to not do it, they go out there and do it because that is what society needs, and if they want to be a proper hero, that is what they are going to do. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people do miss. Due to Superman, Batman and Spider-Man being the most popular heroes in the entire world, I think that automatically, because those three have a no kill rule, they didn't slap it onto every other superhero and believe that they wouldn't as well. But let's sit back and remember who are classed as heroes. Thor, somebody who's been in many wars and has killed many people in his time, as he is a warrior. He is a hero, but he's also a warrior. Somebody like Wolverine, and the list just goes on and on and on. These people do it because they know what will happen if they don't do it, and that's one thing that a lot of people do need to understand. Killing doesn't make you an anti-hero, or just doesn't make you a hero entirely. I feel like Superman, Batman and Spider-Man have sort of rewritten that in a way, and I feel like a lot of people have thought that as you get into all of these talks, and in my opinion games like Injustice really popularizing the fact that killing is bad, you then automatically think that, okay, if this character does it, then they are bad, when that's just not the case. The objective of a hero is to stand there for the people and fight for the people. No matter how they do it, if they are fighting for the greater of humanity, or just the people that they are trying to protect, the universe, a planet, a small town, no matter what it is, as long as they're protecting those people and doing what they can for those people and standing bravely, that is what makes you a hero. So the whole no kill rule thing is just a massive fallacy, and it's only made for certain superheroes that are extremely beloved, or just superheroes that want to have a strict moral code. Because if it's never said for that superhero, then they're fine with it. And truly, I do believe that it can work in both ways. You can improve a character because there's no kill rule and have very, very deep scenes, while on the other hand, you can have a character who is a morally pure person and would like not to, but if they are pushed into that corner, they absolutely will. But with that being said, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, as I did enjoy making this, and I think it has been around a week since I recorded the video. I feel super rusty, but that is fine. I'll get back to the groove of things. So anyway, I love you all. Thank you all for all the support, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Good. Bye.